see that you had a lot of filings and issues with the receiver. What is your side of what happened?
Yeah. So as I said, there's a court-appointed receiver that comes in. They're really there for one thing. They're really there to make as much money as they can for themselves. If you ever end up in a situation with a receiver, run for the hills, because they're appointed. They're appointed, and they're part of kind of the court, and they're responsible to the judge. They're sort of an arm of the court. In our case, we had a totally crooked receivership, a totally crooked receiver. It was really bad. You know, he would take my emails that I would write to him. He would copy and paste them. He would take out paragraphs and submit them to the court. He would lie to the court about phone calls that never took place and things that I said that we would prove over and over again. At one point, it got so bad, even the court sanctioned the FTC about the receiver. In my case, I'll tell you how bad the receivership was. Not only did the receiver pass away during my case, he died. The ownership of the receiver passed away. We found out the CFO was secretly having an affair for years, was having an affair with the president of the receivership that passed away. And while these people were dead at Rob Evans and Associates, so Rob Evans passed away, then Britt Kane passed away, the president. Somehow, while they're dead, they continued to bill me from the grave. As a matter of fact, this morning I looked at their website, Rob Evans and Associates, and all of these dead people are listed as active employees at their company. Like Britt Kane, as of this date, is still on their website. Rob Evans is still on their website. Employees are listed as employees that are independent contractors. The CFO, Anita Jen, who was, I guess, sleeping with or in relations with Britt Kane for many, many years, has all of her family members working there. It's just, you know, there was a movie about bad receivers just recently for the elderly that take advantage of senior citizens and get their access to their bank accounts. Once these receivers come in and they have your money, they really get to spend it and do whatever they want with it. And there's nothing you can do about it. They take it, and the court says all your assets are under the receiver's control, and the receiver will do what he wants with your assets.
So what exactly is a receiver?
The receiver is supposed to be a neutral party who's appointed by the court to manage all of the money and the assets and get control of the business, issue reports, pay bills, because there's a lot of working items. You've stopped a business. And in my case, you know, there's a lot at stake. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Redwood was also a public company. So we were a publicly listed company as well. So there's a lot of moving parts. Someone has to manage all that. Courts aren't set up to manage it. So in theory, you put a receiver in, and the receiver is supposed to do the right thing, but they get so much power, right? It's really easy for them to bill $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 a week for doing nothing, because all they see it as is, hey, I see Redwood's money and Jason Cardiff's money. How much of that can I get in our fees? Let's get it all, right? So that's what the receiver's supposed to be doing, but they really don't in a lot of these cases. I mean, you know, there's another FTC case with a really bad receiver where he came in and there was a classic car collection. He sold all the cars for 10 cents on the dollar, and it was just a bad situation.
So what do you think of the judge in this case, Dolly G?
Dolly G. So Dolly G is a district court judge. She was appointed by, I think it was President Clinton. She's the first female Asian American federal court judge. She's very smart. She was really fair in our case on some of the big issues. She was really you know, not too intelligent on some of the other issues. The challenge that judges have, the Federal Trade Commission sues an individual or a company, like they're suing Facebook all the time, right? They're suing these big companies, And some of it's good and some of it's not. But the Federal Trade Commission and the federal court judge are all on the same payroll. They're all getting paid by the same, they're all federal employees, right? So automatically there's a lot of bias that takes place, and you have to try to overcome that bias. It's very, very hard to do. We didn't really do a very good job of it, which is why I say Dolly G, she was a good judge. When she saw the Supreme Court ruling that's getting ready to come out on whether this 13B stuff that the FTC was doing to me was allowable, she stopped everything and said, listen, I'm not making any more big decisions till the Supreme Court rules, because I don't want to have to undo everything I've done. And that was really the smartest thing she did. So for that, we're thankful for her.